Also tonight, one man describes them as bullying transgender gay gangs and is one violent group responsible for the recent deaths in Houston of a transgender woman and her male friend. A trans woman turned herself in for questioning this week in connection to the murders. Those in the LGBT community say many transgenders have their own handpicked groups they call families. But one man describes them sometimes as brutal, violent, territorial gay gangs willing to do anything to maintain respect and control on their block. Sounds crazy yet? To me it does. We'll explore that issue with the always controversial Quanell X and transgender woman Essence Augustus. And they're first up on the Isiah Factor Uncensored tonight. And right now they are joining us live, Quanell X along with Essence Augustus. Now, one of the things we all have discussed specifically with you, that the possibility in Midtown and in Montrose there are transgender gay gangs out there who are violent, who are attacking people. What's your theory on that, Quanell?
Well, this is something that I learned when we conducted our investigation into the case of what happened involving the double homicide of the young transgendered individual and the boyfriend or friend. What we learned is they don't call themselves gangs, they call themselves families. And what we learned is that certain families are like cliques, what you call gangs, but they run certain areas in their mind of Midtown area. And they don't want other families to cross in other families' territory.
Now let's ask,
I just totally disagree with
Essence Augustus, trans woman here. How do you disagree with that?
I disagree when it comes to the territories. See, when you're by yourself out there on the streets, families usually help raise people or just try to mold them. But that's totally not why I'm here, to give an education on that. What I really wanted to really address is the fact that we're not paying attention to really what happened that night. We're talking about all these things, talking about our statistics in our community, talking about our crime rate. But we're really not talking about the crime that took place. That's really what we want to find out. What
now,
happened?
when you look at that crime that took place,
yes,
though,
sir,
you're looking at a violent attack by a group of people.
Brutal.
And one of the things you said is the person that may be in custody or is in custody
has done this for a number of years.
Tell me about that.
In my experience, you know, I can't speak on that night in particular.
Right,
I'm not the
we
juror.
Understand that.
I'm not the juror. But I can say this with a clear conscience. It has happened a number of times over a number of years. And there are a lot of victims out there. And I came out here tonight to ask them to please stand up. Seriously.
Now, when you say victims, what were they victimized for? What were the reasons behind them being victimized?
You ever seen the movie Mean Girls?
Have not.
Oh. Well, it's one of those things where girls are catty. They're feisty, and, you know, it's just like mean boys. You know, just picking and bullying. And I just wanted to take it. I know the news is using a lot of these using the headline transgender a lot, when it's not just transgender people. At the end of the day, they're simply people, and they're going through a major issue, and we just want to get to the bottom of it.
Now, when we don't use the terminology transgender people, we get the hate mail.
Which is true.
So it's kind of like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Well,
so,
just like black issues, we get tired of people talking about black issues, like Black Lives Matter, Lives Matter. So that's how we feel at the same time.
Let's bring Quanell in.
Well, Isiah, what I learned is that this case had nothing to do with somebody's sexual orientation or sexual choice. Because there are some who may call themselves transgender, transsexual, who may be drag queens, and they all identify differently. But one thing I learned is that prostitution, drugs, and crime is flourishing in the area where this crime took place. I'm not saying she's a part of anything. She must speak for herself. But one thing I did learn, nobody involved in this case are saints. None of them. Because I ran the criminal history of the victims in this case, as well as the one who was alleged to be involved as a person of interest. Everybody involved is not a saint in this case. And it's important that I want everybody to understand this. Look, there is a problem out there in that Midtown area. There's a serious prostitution problem in that Midtown area.
Can I ask you a question?
And what we have to do, whether we like it or not, I don't care what a person's sexual orientation is. That's not my business. That's between them and God. But at the end of the day, it is my duty to make sure that whoever killed this person is put behind bars, and we don't throw innocent people in jail, because I guarantee you there was more than just one person involved in this crime.
Yes, I believe
the point you wanted to make.
8 to 2. I don't want to debate or anything. We've been the gay community has wanted your involvement for a long time because of your pillar in the community. We just have a question. Why is this the first issue that you've joined in?
I'm glad
And you're on the wrong side.
I'm glad you raised that question. Now,
So you think the person that he brought in is guilty?
hold on, wait a minute, Brother Isaiah. She raised a question to me. Now, let me answer the question, and let me educate you while we're here tonight. Because when the young man was beaten for being gay in Baytown, the Caucasian young gay white man, I stood up and protested for him. When the gay young man here in Houston was abused by HPD for being transgender, I stood up and fought for him. Now, this young man who I took in the other day, I believe he's innocent. So I don't care what your sexual orientation is, I'll stand for you if you're the victim of injustice. When the same-sex couple had their child given away to somebody else in Southeast Houston, I stood up and advocated for the same-sex couple. To me, it's about justice. It's about if you're the victim of injustice, your sexual orientation does not have anything to do with what I'm saying for you or not.
Let's give you the last 10 seconds because we're running out of time.
Mr. X, it's wonderful to have you on our side finally, but you're on the wrong side of the fence.
That's all the
And
time
I'm on
we
God's
have.
side.
We
We
want
don't
to
need
thank
to be
you
on
guys for
God's side.
coming
I
on the
appreciate
Isiah.
it.
Wait, you're moving too
I'm
fast. You're going to
sorry.
pull my microphone. Be
I'm
still.
sorry.
Don't be hot. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
I'm sorry, no, I was just...